This movie begins in a new suburban community. New Granada was constructed in 1978. It consisted of condominiums and townhomes. In 1978, there were 110,000 teenagers under 18 arrested in the United States. They were arrested for vandalism and other crimes. The city planners failed to recognize that 25% of the population in this community was 15 or younger. They overlooked the needs of this population. This video recounts true events that occurred in New Granada in 1978. Two of the local teens are bored. They stand on a bridge overlooking the freeway. They wait for a police car to approach. He fires his pellet gun at the car. It hits the windshield, causing the officer to spin out. They jump for joy, then hop on their bikes. The officer calls for backup. The two shooters ride away. Richie and Carl are out for a walk. The two freeway shooters ride by them. They tell them to hide because the cops are coming. The officer spots him hiding. He assumes that they are the shooters. He approaches them and asks why they're hiding. Richie responds, "We're hiding from some hornets." Carl says he's looking for his contact lens. The officer checks his eyes. He tells him, "You don't wear contacts." Since he caught them both trying to hide, he arrests them. He searches them and finds a switchblade in Richie's pocket. They get smart with the officer. The officer throws them into his car. The police are questioning them about the freeway shooting. They deny knowing anything about it. The officer asked Richie where he got his belt buckle. He replies, "A friend gave it to me." The officer asked, "What kind of plant is it?" Richie responds, "It's just poison ivy." They put more pressure on Carl. Carl finally tells them he saw two guys riding by them. One of them had a pellet or BB gun. The officer calls Carl's father. They take Richie away while Carl waits for his dad. Carl's father is trying to reason with him. He tells him that Richie is nothing but trouble. Carl tells his father that there's nothing to do in New Granada. His father replies, "I'm getting tired of hearing you complain." That night, Carl goes to the community recreation center. It's the only place in New Granada for the teens to hang out. They can buy their drugs there. There's also alcohol to drink. This night they get lucky, there's a house party nearby. Someone's parents went out for the night. The New Granada teens take advantage of the opportunity. But someone calls the cops and the party is over. Carl is walking home and is ambushed. The freeway shooters found out that he put the finger on them. They show no mercy as they beat him senseless. Carl tries to defend himself, but it's hopeless. He lies defeated on the ground. The attackers tell him to keep his mouth shut next time. Battered, bruised and bloody, he staggers away. He goes home and his parents are shocked. They want to know what happened. He tells them that two guys jumped him. His mother asks, "Do you know who they were?" Carl replies, "No, I never saw them before." His mother wants to take him to the hospital. Carl says no. He tells her he'll be okay in the morning. The next day, Carl goes to the rec center. Everyone wants to know what happened to his face. He tells them, "Don't worry about it, I'm okay." The local police want to shut down the rec center. He approaches the director. She asked, "Why are you here?" He responds, "You were supposed to shut down today." She tells him that this place is all that the kids have. The officer tells her that there was a report of drugs here last night. She denies the charge and tries to stop him. The officer enters the center. She tells him he's violating the law by coming in. He tells her, "I am the law." The teens heckle him as he walks around. He approaches the suspected dope peddler and searches him. Richie takes off because he has some drugs on him. The officer finds some cocaine on the teen. He calls for backup. He tells the teen that he should search everyone. Carl shouts, "Why don't you search me?" The officer approaches him. Carl tells him, "Go ahead and search me." He empties his pockets. Then he pulls a stick out of his back pocket. He tells the officer it's a deadly weapon. The officer tells the teens that the rec is closed. Everyone exits the recreation center. Then they see Richie standing on top of the police car. The deputy runs towards the car. Richie jumps off and the chase is on. Richie is much faster than the deputy. The deputy trips and falls. The teens cheer for Richie. The police put the dope peddler in the car. They are surrounded and heckled by the teens. The police drive away as the teens harass them. Now we see Richie and Carl on a bike ride. They see a couple of girls. They join them and make small talk. One of the girls is carrying something. Richie takes it away from her. Richie rips open the package. He discovers a handgun. Richie says he could sell the gun for a lot of cash. They enter a house under construction. They kick back and discuss how much they could sell the gun for. They agree that they want to shoot it first. One of the girls grabs the gun. She dances to the music, waving it around. She aims the gun at Carl and pulls the trigger. A shot rings out and Carl falls back. He surprises them. She was a bad shot and missed. They leave the house. The girl apologizes. She didn't know the gun was loaded. Now they are trying out the gun. They found a tin can to shoot instead of Carl. Richie can't hit the target. He walks over and knocks the can off the fence. They argue over who shoots next. The girl also misses the can. They only have one bullet left. They give the honor to Carl. He takes aim and shoots, and the can is gone. Now they walk around. They go to see the community drug dealer. He's on the phone placing his order. They sneak up on him. Richie blames him for the raid on the community center. The dealer swears he's innocent. Richie points the gun at his head. He tells him he's going to blow his head off. The dealer begs for his life. Another kid lights a firecracker. The dealer's mother's tennis game is interrupted. The teens throw the dealer into the pond. The mother is frantic. The teens make their getaway. Now they walk and talk about their adventure. Carl's dad is trying to talk some sense into him. Carl is very defiant and combative. Carl's mother tries to maintain peace. His father tells Carl that his friends are heading to jail. Carl argues that no one is going anywhere. His mother tells him not to associate with Richie. She says that the teen center is being shut down. Carl looks at his mother and says bullshit. His father tells him to never speak to his mother like that. Carl tells his father he's crazy as he walks away. The father grabs him and hits him. Carl storms off to his room. Carl and Richie get a tip that the police are coming for them. They leave school in a hurry. They find a vehicle with the keys in it. They discuss running away from home. There's nothing for them in New Granada. This is the adventure of a lifetime. They wave goodbye to New Granada. But they are spotted by the police. Richie steps on the gas. The police close in on them. He drives off the highway. The police are right behind them. Richie loses control and they roll over. The officer chases Richie. Richie stops and aims his gun at the officer. The officer shoots and kills Richie. Carl hears the shot and stops. He runs for his life. An emergency meeting is called. The city council invites the police and the parents. They meet at the high school. Their goal is to bring peace to the community. They want to know why the police killed Richie. The teens are having a meeting of their own. They are furious that Richie was shot and killed. They decide to vent their frustrations. They all go to the high school. While the meeting is in progress, the teens are very busy. They are locking all the exits of the auditorium. The parents have no idea what's going on. The director of the community center speaks up. She asks the police officer if Richie's gun was empty. He replies, "How was I supposed to know that?" She accuses him of murder. He accuses her of not running the community center properly. As they argue back and forth, a teen is securing the exit. The crowd starts turning on each other. Then the officer sees a teen at the door. He is flipping off the officer. The officer runs to the door. He is shocked as he looks outside. They are all over the cars and smashing windows. He can't open the door. He runs over to another door. That door is also locked. He watches as a teen smashes a display case. The officer tries to calm everyone down. The teens are burning the cars. They're also destroying the classrooms. They destroy the police cars. They find a gun and fire it into the air. They torment the parents over the intercom system. They blow up the electrical transformer. All the lights go out. The officer uses his flashlight. He tells everyone that everything is under control. Outside, the carnage continues. The teens are shooting the cars. The recreation center director is having a smoke. She sees one of the teens. She calls him over. She asked him to bring her a nearby phone. He obliges her. She asked him to dial 0. She calls the police. The teens are running out of energy. They can hear the sirens in the distance. The teens are gone when the police arrive. They run over to free the parents. The police officer who shot Richie runs out. He takes one of the police cars and speeds away. The town's mayor looks at all the damage. The teens are running down the highway. The officer catches up with Carl. He picks him up and is taking him to jail. He drives down the road chewing out Carl. Then, out of nowhere, the freeway shooters appear. They fire into the police car. This causes the officer to lose control. The car slams into the recreation center. The officer is unconscious. The car catches fire. Carl gets the key to his handcuffs. He escapes from the burning car. He runs as fast as he can. The car explodes, destroying the recreation center. Carl watches the structure disappear in a ball of flames. Then we see Carl saying goodbye to his parents. He is being taken away to a juvenile detention center. But he is not alone. The bus is full of troubled teens. They're all just looking for something to do. The juvenile detention center will keep them busy. The last 3 New Granada teens watch from the overpass. They wave goodbye to the bus as it passes under them. And so the New Granada teens finally escaped that boring town. If you enjoyed watching this short version of Over the Edge, please click the like and subscribe buttons, plus leave a comment. And thanks for watching.